or I'm looking over here in the chat, but I'm not moving my head like that. It's not because I'm not paying attention. It's because they need to put that clock right in front of my face. Haps, folks. I love all of you, but just pop it up on top of the screen there because people comment, dude, you look shifty eyed. Um, and I want to be trustworthy. I'm Revolution MacInnes. This is the Rev Mac Live Pop-Up Film Festival. As you can see on the screen, we're in Chicago, Illinois. This is really a celebration of filmmaking, the craft of film, working professionals in film. That is a huge theme, really across the board for me, from musicians to filmmakers to to screenwriters to everybody. There's a whole world where you can make money in filmmaking and nobody will ever know your name. And nothing wrong with wanting them to know your name. You want to be Steve Spielberg. I think that guy's important, Steven or something. You want to be that guy? Go for it. But a backup plan, I'm a dad. I've been a dad for a long time now. A backup plan is always a good thing. And you can learn a lot about your backup plan here. And if you need a phone case, folks, right there, Scooch case right there. They sponsor us, and I know I promised to have a commercial made by now, but I haven't. So Scooch case, somebody wants to make one for me? Fantastic. I'll give you, I don't know, a penny of this multi-billion-dollar empire that we're building here. Now I'll give you a dollar. How about that? Scooch case, great cases. Got a really nice little feature there to hold on to it. You can tilt it on it, every direction. Yeah, drop it 10 feet. It's going to be good to go. At least that's what it's rated for. But listen, scoochcase.com, check them out. They're, supporters of the program. You can support me in a couple of ways. Buy a Scooch case, let them know you bought it, so they'll pay me. And then you can give us some coins. So if you've just joined or you're seeing this on the replay, you can still do it. You can give us some coins. Those are like little awards from 15 cents to, $75, I think you can do. But then you can also sponsor us. If you click on, they'll be somewhere on the screen there for you that says you can sponsor us. And if you want to know more about me and my mission, DM me on Instagram because we're doing a lot of fun stuff here. But to the meat of it, to the heart of it, tonight we have our film festival. And I'm really lucky because I see Roger Green is already out there in the audience. And Roger brought us Mr. PL Sweets here. And PL, you and Roger go pretty far back, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
So I gotta say thank you to Roger. We just had a great film festival the week before, and Roger's just got a very fun, very well made freshman short. His first big effort at something, and man, Roger, great job. It's just so fun, and I do need to talk to you. I want to get on the set of your next feature and get some behind the scenes exclusive stuff. So I can have it on the show. So I'm going to need to fly out to New York one of these days, I think. But PL, how long have you been doing film?
I've been doing film about 5 years. Started doing a couple of music videos. I actually did the first couple of music videos I did for Roger, aka Mr. Roger. I did for him.
Oh, nice.
And then decided to do my first short. So this is actually my first short as a
really
director. Yeah.
This is your first short directing?
Yeah.
Shit, I've seen this film. I mean, it's a good movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. I did not know that. Well, let's jump in with all right. So I have to talk about which I got to make sure I'm pulling in the right one. This is the right one. The Amanda and Keith, that's the one. Unmute the right one. There we go. Keith and Amanda. I think, Roger was probably through Clubhouse. And then, of course, Roger gets us PL. But you two, you're straight, I think, Instagram. I probably was doing something like a search or something on Instagram for like shorts or I bet it was black filmmakers and shorts. That's when I do a lot, Latinx and all that. So I'm pretty sure I just saw you guys and just what did I see? I saw the grocery store one.
Oh.
Yeah. And because technically this is a music video, actually, it's not a film, but since
Right.
I'm in charge, I brought it in as a film tonight because you guys did such a nice job and you're like such a cute couple. Like, I mean,
Thanks.
seriously, like, I think you would agree with me, PL, that if we just,
It could be all about them. Easy.
if we just kept them on the screen and they just talked about shit, we'd get good ratings because they're look how cute they are together. You know what I mean? So, I'm not a dummy. I know what to do for ratings. So, but it's going to be fun getting to know you and getting to know your stories and the stories of filmmaking because really that is what this is all about. And as we're waiting for Darion, who I understand if he's tardy because he's at a party in New York with his family and none of us getting paid for this stuff yet. So that's
So
why we
he's
don't
in
have
New York,
cash
huh?
prizes. But the why don't you Keith and Amanda tell us a little kind of quickly how you ended up not here, but making these music videos and everything. I don't think you guys have been married forever, right?
No.
Fairly new.
Yeah, it'll be 2 years actually in a few weeks.
That's what I thought. You know how I know? Because I'm stalking your guys' Instagram pages. Oh wait, Keith. Keith's not there yet. Oh nope. Okay, and then I go in through Keith. Oh yeah, no, I don't. Oh, there they are. You know what I mean? So I thought it was just a couple of years. It's crazy how you can track the life of somebody through their Instagram feed.
Yeah.
I've seen some people like my daughter's age that are like got one when they were like 3. You know what I mean? You can see their not really 3, but you know what I mean. But you can see their whole life. So yeah, how did this happen?
You want to start?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, all the pandemic shenanigans kind of come about, and then I kind of got spooked because I thought that I guess the marketing was suggesting that we weren't going to be able to participate in entertainment or that it wasn't deemed essential. So at that point, to kind of combat my fear, I took it upon myself that I was going to make a project that I won't say necessarily socially conscious, but that was just alternative to what I was seeing on the internet and on TV. Thus, you get songs like "Grocery Store" and I had one song called "Two Step Dip," which was about having a party in the living room because you couldn't go out and go to the club and stuff like that. And then the whole project was called "Stimulus Package," which
nice,
ironically. So it was yes, there's the government stimulus, all this other stuff, but there's also a soulful, a stimulus for your mind and your soul that you could listen to. And so prior to the Ahmaud Arbery thing, the George Floyd thing, all this stuff like that, I just felt inclined to write this song based upon a sample that I found from an artist on Twitter. Her name is Carrie Cleveland, and I actually reached out to her and her
son,
who was managing her, and asked could I rework their work. And they ended up going through their whole situation, getting it cleared. But I just kind of wrote from the disposition of the black person, the black male, to America. And then just was kind of just going forward or what have you. And then after I finished the song, she just casually was like, "You should let me direct your music video."
Nice.
And so we kind of started going back and forth and talking about it. And
he's like, I was really thinking about this other director, honey. I mean, I'll think about it. I mean, you're cute. I mean, no, you got skills. He knew you had skills. That was like a match made in heaven, right?
Right, for sure.
And more so on just her vision and her execution, like administratively, because before we even got in there, like she was typing itineraries and putting together her team, and there were calendar invites. So
you got to know how to do shit like that. Like I don't, but I always make sure that I have people around me that do, because they're smarter than me. Like I say, I'm just the sexy talent. I don't do much else. And Prentice, you were saying that was that was that was cool. That was a good idea around the
Yeah, it's a clever name, clever play on words, and a clever play on the time frame that we're in.
Yeah, with COVID and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely very, very clever.
Hey, Joy. Hey, Kizzy. Kizzy's our producer. Great to see you. You might have all dealt with Kizzy.
Yeah, we all got emails from her. I'm pretty sure we all did.
And so that's great to have you guys here. So Amanda, what's it like telling? I mean, I'm sure if your relationship is like mine, you tell him what to do all day long anyway. But I mean, what is it like to? She's just watching. I want her to think she's in charge. But what's it like directing your husband in a music video?
Well, this was actually my first official professional project that I took on and directed and produced. And so I just, I am able to separate business from personal come time.
Oh, nice. So you could have fired his ass you're done. You wrote this song. You're starring in it. But I got somebody better. You had a director. Okay, sorry. Anyway, keep going.
Oh, no, absolutely not. He, I just, for me, he trusted me with, with his song to, bring forth a vision. And just throughout the entire process, he wasn't my husband. He was the artist for the day.
I like that.
And
the artist, formerly known as, or
as
after
Keith
5.
Phelps.
Known as Keith Phelps, my husband.
Exactly. So that entire day, I'm like, let's make sure my artist has eaten, is my artist in wardrobe, has my artist had makeup done. So
I like that. I like that. That's really cool. Keith, it is kind of a big trust to, let somebody have to take over your vision. So I think it's probably pretty cool to have somebody that you're married to that you can trust to do that. I mean, that's one of the reasons I really wanted to have you on here was to show, because there's some throughout history and film history, there's some legendary couples that do stuff together. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Similar but different. Like I grew up playing with my father, and not so much like we would go in the basement and he would kind of teach me how to play music, or would just kind of have me in the studio for fun. His expectation of me was the same as all the other adults when I was in elementary school that was on his set. So we kind of have this thing where that was the mentality that got instilled to me, that the friends that I do have, that we work together, and then once I got married, once the job descriptions come in for however long that we're doing that, shooting that video, recording that song, thus and so, that that's the goal, and then whatever personal issues that we have to work out, if I need to do my homework when I get home, we'll deal with that later, but while we're here, you're a professional and you're expected to be one regardless of our familiar relationship. So once we decided to do that, it was one of those things where I was completely supportive of her leadership in that role. And then because when there's quality, there's no urge to micromanage on my part, which I don't like micromanaging at all anyway. But when there is definitely quality, and you can definitely see someone knows what they're doing. I literally sat there and scrolled on my phone and drank my coffee while my hair was getting touched in my, and she was hollering at this person and doing this and doing this, and then the food came. Then the food was late today, and then we had to send somebody else. But I was just sitting there like,
Yeah.
so
That's good.
that's kind of where the basis of it is, because it's more so at this point, like I see the professional first, and then the relationship second in the moment.
Well, that's good. That's good because I constantly tell everybody I meet, and as I'm making all these new connections, I totally and fully 100% understand that we are friends, but if you got to slit my throat for business, I mean, I get it. It is what it is. Hopefully, as I pass out, you'll, as my friend, not let me bleed out. But I get it. What you got to do, you got to do what you got to do. So that's got to be fun to maneuver that through with a couple. I think that's pretty neat. PL, I think we're going to watch your film first here, and where did this? I don't want to give away the story. Okay, I like to keep everybody kind of just, we're going to be on the edge of our seat here, but my goodness, where did this story come from? It's a very unique story.
Thank you. Well, it came from just being inundated with the 24-hour news cycle. It kind of came from that. My wife was just on news, like on every mobile device, on the iPad,
Oh yeah,
on the laptop, on the TV. Every room I would go to, the news would be on. So I'm just inundated with all this information and just being completely frustrated because I want to watch the game, I want to watch a movie, and it's like as soon as I turn, it's like, okay, now so we turning back to the news. So just being inundated with all that information, and then kind of getting on the train. And that's why I do most of my creative thinking, riding the train, and driving. So the whole idea came from, how can I get two people to have an honest conversation that's centered around where age, religion, race, and politics don't play, and they can have an honest conversation and come with an answer of empathy and love. So without giving it all away, that's kind of where the concept came from. Just riding the train, just kind of riding the train and seeing all these different types of people on the train going to these several destinations, and really playing in my head like Rodney King. Why can't we all just get along? This is crazy. I don't understand this. So that's where the whole impetus of the entire concept came from.
Well, that is really cool. I think that will be interesting news to have, in your head when we're watching the film. And I think both filmmakers, three of you, with the trio of filmmakers here, there's definitely a theme of beyond just being entertaining, but having a message. And I think that is just one of the marvelous effects of film and what can be done with film. And you see directors even putting subtle messages into films. He just passed away. The director, big name director.
John Singleton?
Was it
John Singleton?
Oh no! Did John Singleton die?
Yeah.
No, when?
Oh, it's been about
like 2
almost
years,
almost a year now.
Oh, I did hear that. Oh shit! But I hadn't thought about that. Oh, that sucks. Jesus.
Yeah, big
Richard
loss.
Donner, I think is his name, and he's of that Spielberg kind of Lucas era. Thank you, Joy. Yes, Richard Donner, and he would just put in the 70s, like a peace symbol or whatever, right? A Black Power sticker or something, right? But just put things in little pieces of film in so many different ways. You can put it in the story, you can put it in there visually, and I just love the idea of even some subversion. You think you're watching this, but what we're really trying to let you know is, wouldn't things be better if we did it this way or something? So yeah, this is going to be fun. This is was it about 8 or 9 minutes? I think, I can't remember.
It's 13 minutes.
Is it? Well,
Mhm.
it's a quick 13 minutes because it's a good view. So we're gonna watch this film. I will leave your audio unmiked. So just remember that. But feel free to respond and even make a quick comment or something. We're all just here to have some fun and enjoy it. And we are just about to see it's I See You.
I see you. Yes,
I
sir.
See You, written and directed by P.L. Sweets. Here we go.
Okay, that's it. What the fuck are you?
Good morning, Mr. McBride.
How long is this gonna take? And when do I get paid?
About an hour. But as soon as you complete the evaluation, we will mail the check.
When the cows come home.
Are you gentlemen comfortable? First, Skybound Reality Incorporated would like to thank you both for your participation in this virtual psychological evaluation. We've loaded up the avatars you've selected. And Mr. McBride, I see you've chosen your own image.
Who else am I gonna be? Al Sharpton?
And that's perfectly fine, sir. As a reminder, please do not touch each other. And when I say begin, open your eyes and introduce yourselves. And begin.
Whoa. Well, this is different. I can feel the heat from that fire. You feel that?
Maybe. If I wanted to.
Well, my name's Billy.
Keith.
Where you from, Keith?
I was born in Brooklyn, but I live in Jersey now. You?
I come from a place where the tea's always sweet and the chicken's always fried. Small town called Bennettsville, South Carolina. You got any family?
I got a wife, yeah, and 2 baby twin girls.
Yoo-hoo. Ain't you got trouble?
Tell me about it. What about you? Any family?
Nah. Lost my wife a few years back.
I'm sorry. Losing someone is tough, but moving on, that's the real pain.
Seems like you've traveled this road a bit.
More than you know. Losing my Nana Maggie, that really hit me.
Like a ton of bricks, huh? That was my wife's name, too, Margaret. Everybody called her Maggie.
In the Quran, it says to seek assistance through patience in prayer. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 45.
In the what?
In the Quran.
Okay. In the Quran, it also says to blow people up. Like you and me. So what liberal dipshit taught you that in Brooklyn? Huh?
Actually, I took it upon myself to read it, and I fell in love with its message.
Okay, now hear me out, son. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father except through me.
What are you saying?
I guess if you just don't know, you just don't know.
And what makes you think that I don't? Oh, is it this hat? I saw you eyeballing that earlier.
You like that shit jungle music, huh? No, I knew it. You're one of them. Have I?
I bet every Sunday you praise the Lord in one breath and call them jigaboos the next. Pay your tithe and go home and jerk off to your Lord and Savior, Donald Trump.
You watch your damn tongue now, boy.
See, you know the first thing about your Bible.
Oh, yeah?
Whatever happened to God so loved the world, huh? See, people like you like to use religion as your excuse. But you can't put a Band-Aid on diarrhea. It's still shit.
The Word of God says there's a time and place for everybody in the world. Even the blacks, the gays, the goddamn Mexicans.
Wow.
That's why they're building the wall. It's blowing up a storm, son. They are polluting what America was.
What? White?
Yeah.
We're not from here.
The most violent acts in the history of this country were done by white people.
Sometimes that's what it calls for. The law of revolution states the strongest will survive.
First of all, it's the theory of evolution. Jesus. We are all immigrants. Do you not see that?
Oh, no. Just look at the news. MS-13, the drugs, the murderers, suicide bombers. We are not all the same, young man. No way.
You cannot be serious.
This is laughable. This is absolutely laughable.
The liberal media would have you confused as an Amish electrician.
Then I guess all these school shootings describe our whole culture.
No. Those people have serious mental illnesses.
Are people that burn crosses mentally ill too? Huh. What about your family?
What about them?
They share your views?
Who cares? I ain't seen my son in some 20-odd years. He ran off and married some black gal. Even heard I got a grandbaby somewhere.
Heard?
See it, that little nigglet baby ain't mine. No way. He disrespected me.
He's still your son, your blood.
It runs through him. I wonder if your wife would have loved her black grandchild.
You leave my wife out of this, son. How dare you? How dare you?
My Nana Maggie would never go for that. Ever.
Yeah, well, my Maggie ain't your Maggie.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Fuck you!
Mr. McBride, I need you to calm down.
Don't you tell me to calm down. Get your hands off me!
Please, sir, you will not get paid if you disengage. You won't get paid.
You watch your damn mouth now! Who the fuck do you think you are? I'll whip your little ass, boy!
Hey, it's BJ. You miss me? Leave a message.
Son, why didn't you pick up, honey? I'm in the hospital. Emergency surgery. I don't have a good feeling about this. If anything happens to me, please reconnect with your father. He's an old, lonely man.
Mr. McBride, are you okay?
Promise me. I gotta go, baby. I love you.
Mr. Walker?
I'm I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset. It was just a question.
What kind of damn question was it? You just watch your damn mouth now. You've been warned. Okay? Okay.
You know, you kind of remind me of this guy I once knew. He was my neighbor. One day, this guy comes home with this beautiful, golden Labrador.
Those are loyal dogs. Even had one myself. Maggie named him Max.
This guy used to leave the dog chained up outside. No shelter.
You do some shit like that.
Hardly ever fed him. Then when he did, he liked to mess with this dog, leaving its food just outside our reach.
Sounds like a real bastard.
Yeah. He was a real bastard, all right. He'd whip that dog just for barking.
What?
Wouldn't come home for days on end. Hell, sometimes he wouldn't come home at all.
Motherfucker would abandon his
His
dog.
family? Oh, like you did?
What? Wait.
Getting upset over a dog and not your own flesh and blood. I see you.
That's it.
Who the fuck are you? I'm your grandson. The nigger you love to hate.
Dad. This is Keith Walker McBride. Your beautiful, intelligent grandson. He owns his company. He set this all up.
My Nana Maggie made me promise.
Oh, yeah, Nana Maggie is not my Nana Maggie. No.
She is. And I loved her so very much. I wanted to meet you even if it meant I'd never see you again. I had to take that chance. It was my grandmother's dying wish.
Dad, family is family. We obviously have our differences, but I never stopped loving you. We want you to be part of our lives, but you...
Oh, Maggie. My sweet, sweet Maggie.
Times is crazy. But the only way they get better is if we work together. Yeah.
The fire may consume me, but I won't burn. The road may get too tough, but I won't turn. I don't see ashes, I see beauty becoming me. I don't see ashes, I see beauty becoming me.
is here gonna help me. It costs too much to be healthy, so what dream is America selling me? So many problems, there's no solutions. They downplay our contributions. No more marching, it's time for revolution. We need to rip up the Constitution, cause I'm only considered 3/5. Only truth can end these myths.
Well, that is a seriously intense piece of filmmaking there.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I told you it wouldn't feel like 13 minutes. It just pulls you right in. Just, yeah, what Amanda and Keith, oh, I got to tell you guys, one of the most fun about doing this is you can see, the audience can't, but, we can all see each other on the screen, and then we can see the individual camera shots as well. So what I love doing, and then I'm going to give it away. The films will be all stone-faced now. But I love watching the filmmaker watch their film. It's so cool. You know what I mean? Like I wish I could, it would be too intrusive to put you in a pit box while we're watching your film. But it's really fun to see people watch their work. Prentice, I tease Darion all the time, my co-host, because we show his films, once in a while. And I just he makes horror films. He makes good horror films. And he still is scared. I'm like, dude, you were holding the camera. How can you be scared of that scene? But he loves movies, and it's just fun to see people loving their work. And I was pretty intense there, I think.
Thank you. I just want to find a creative way to get two people in the room that wouldn't normally have a conversation. And the only way I saw to do it was to put them in a virtual reality and have them speak to someone he's comfortable with, to have an honest conversation with. So I initially I ran the idea by Roger, and I said, what do you think? I had half wrote it, and he said, you should definitely do that. And so we just kind of hammered the script out and went back and forth, and brought in a producer, my brother Sekou Gathers, to help me produce it. And I think the toughest part was really doing the casting, because I just wasn't sure if I was going to get the right, Trump dude. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to get him, and I figured I would get a lot of the other characters. But ironically, I had so many people audition for that role. I was flabbergasted. I had 15 or 20 guys. Really, it was a really close call. I feel we made the right selection, and especially with the guy playing the Muslim kid playing, and the white gentleman playing at the campfire. I wanted to make sure their mannerisms were similar. So when I cut back and forth, it was almost like you were seeing the same person in a sense. So, and their mannerism. And so I had them kind of work out together just to kind of make sure their cadences were similar. Because I wanted it to be seamless. So I'm glad you caught that. And so I was really happy with the turnout.
Your film reminds me, first of all, the concept was amazing. The fact that you said you could get, two people in the same room that way, and they not, in a conversation they would normally have. There is a series on Amazon Prime, I'm not sure if you've seen, called Upload, where they have the same kind of a virtual reality thing. That's what I kept seeing the whole time as I was watching. I wasn't sure if any of that influenced your...
No. I never seen that at all. I never
seen that. It's very similar. Only their approach to it is more aimed at the afterlife. So instead of actually physically dying or decomposing, you can choose to upload, and then people can visit you virtually.
Yeah, it's the same kind of a concept. Yeah. With that being said, what did kind of influence your decision for the way that you decided to do that?
It really came from this being on the train, actually. Just, especially if you ride the trains in New York City, it's a true melting pot in the sense that you're next to a heavy guy, a tall person, Asian woman, black guy, white guy, straight guy, lesbian, gay. We're all on the same train, and it was just, how can this person probably wouldn't even talk to this person? This probably wouldn't even talk to this person. How can I get them to have a conversation? And that's really that was really the impetus of the whole idea, was it's kind of being inundated with the news cycle, as I mentioned earlier. And it's really saying, this is ridiculous. And how can I shed some light on this and show the humanity of all of us? And that's really the kind of the idea, where the idea came from.
Yeah, I think the strength of the concept is the perceived impunity. Like when you put the headphones on and you put the goggles on, it's like there's nothing I can say or think or be in this moment that's wrong. So at that point, then you end up getting the raw, unadulterated truth.
You get to see people for who they really are,
even though they're not who they
really are. Yeah,
what's on the inside of you is truly who you are.
Even the fact that like the elderly guy, the fact that in both scenarios he was essentially himself, but like at the campfire scene he has on the MAGA hat,
right,
and then seeing someone else who also has on a MAGA hat, you would perceive them to have the same ideas and morals that you have, and then they start opening their mouth and it's like, hold on, like we supposed to be on the same team. So that was a really dope concept.
And I thought it was at the beginning when I first wrote it, I was like, maybe he should be different from himself, but I just wanted the arrogance of his whole being is really select himself as the image. So I wanted that to be apparent that it was his decision to be himself, and then have the virtual reality just really expose his heart visually.
No, that translated.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Because I know like that particular scenario is like probably the most obvious, like those two warring mentalities. But it would be sometimes like from a like culturally introspective angle, it would be interesting to even see two black people have a dialogue.
I had that. Initially, it was going to be 4 people. Initially, it was going to be 4 people, but budget, timing.
Of course.
Okay, I get that.
So I had to make a decision, because even writing the strip was getting confusing. Like, who am I talking to? Why am I saying this? And who's that person? This in my head, and I'm running it past Roger, and he's like, "Yeah, it's getting kind of. I don't understand." I said, "If you don't understand it, then okay, let me just go back to the drawing board." And it's, I write on the train, I write in the park. I'll take my iPad to the Dunkin' Donuts for a few hours. Like, it's hard for me to write at home. I have to be out with people, and so I can I can kind of ear jockey people, because I listen to people. I throw my earbuds on and just kind of listen to people's conversations, and just kind of pull personalities out of people or phrases, and so that's where a lot of the script came from.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What kind of camera did you use and what frame rate?
So I shot it with the Eva 1 Panasonic, and we shot it with some vintage Leica lenses. The DP did a great job. His name is Derek Brown. He brought these amazingly vintage 80s Leica lenses, and we shot it at 4K.
Okay.
The drone was 4K as well, and so we did. It was a 3-day shoot. It was one in the interrogation space, and then one at the campfire, and then for the interludes with the mask, the internal parts of the mask, we shot that on another day as well. So it was like 3 days.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily sure of like your overall vision or intent, but if that's a proof of concept, that could definitely be a crazy series or a crazy feature. Like,
I've been trying to put that together, so I'm working on that now. Yeah.
Excellent work, though.
Yeah.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
someone in the comments, make hip hop great again. That was an obvious thing. So I wanted people to appear to think that the MAGA hat was the same until you read it, and it says "Make hip hop great again."
Yeah, I caught
Oh,
And
that.
I didn't see
And
the
I was
other
like,
one.
let's
Okay.
go.
I didn't see it. I thought it said the
Nah,
same.
it said make hip hop great.
Okay,
That's why he said
yeah. But
you
that's why he
like
did
that
it.
jungle shit. That's why he said that.
yeah,
What
He was
jungle
talking about the
shit?
music.
he's talking
He was
about the
like, you like
music.
that jungle music
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Because he saw him put on the hip hop cat.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that was excellent concept.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
Thank you. Appreciate all your comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice to get that feedback about your film too. You know, I mean, I've seen it so many times on here where it's fun to have people watching it while you're there and be able to get that feedback back. It's got to be fun for a filmmaker to sit in the audience and watch the film. Would be a fun experience too. But it's kind of a fun way to do it. It's one of my favorite parts about the show. Like I said, other than watching the filmmakers watch the film because that's just fun. So it sounds like you've got aspirations of course, of trying to expand that into like a feature or, like you said, Amanda, some type of multi-part, show or program. I mean, that's one of the funny things too now is the separation between film and television was huge when I was, in my 20s. And now, I mean, some stories can just be told, so well over 16 episodes over 2 years, as opposed to crammed into 2 hours. So it has really expanded, storytelling hugely.
Yes,
because I could see that, in several different ways with what you did there. And the other thing that I love here too, if Roger's still here, is this idea of surrounding yourself with, the kind of people that you want to be, or, you know what I mean? Like, I just love it when this happens in clusters in so many different ways in life. But, both you and Roger are pretty much nascent, new filmmakers in that, at this level. And you both do these great first, freshman efforts. Hey, Roger, good. Glad you're here. Freshman efforts in these films. And you've had other experiences and stuff too, and that make up a big part of it. But that you guys know each other and you help each other. I mean, that's the great thing again about this business and all this relationships and connections.
Yes,
and
true.
really being able to have other people to just turn to and say, dude, does this suck? And, it's got to be somebody that you trust well enough to be like, yeah, it does. We need to change some things or whatever. It's nice to have somebody at your back that also knows what you're doing. So I think that's really cool. And I appreciate you, Roger, for bringing PL to us tonight. That was a great movie.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Is
and by
there,
the way, his song, the last song was him. Was the last song that was Roger?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
All right, Roger.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, John Ardmore. Because that's the thing about Roger's film too. Roger, I got to tell you, I took my phone, because my executive producer here, she doesn't always do what I say. So but I suggested that she see your film. I'm just being funny. But I took my phone and I just started playing that opening music from your movie with the shot and the shots and everything. And that, I mean, it was like I was going to see a full blown freaking feature where they paid for some, serious freaking music and expensive shots and stuff. So music is very powerful in filmmaking, obviously, I think, as we're going to see here in a couple of minutes. Like you just got to go flip on the up, right, man? Just keep this thing going, because this is a really great film. Have you been in the festival circuit yet with this film?
Yeah, so we've been in 3 festivals. 3 festivals so far. I think the National Black, the Newark Film Festival, and the Best Eye Film Festival we were accepted in. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to. I have a couple more things I want to do, get into some other festivals, but I'm excited. For me having doing my first film,
Uh-huh.
and being surrounded by a bunch of capable people, and I have a love for film at the same time, but be able to be candidly honest with you is probably the most important thing to have centered around you. This way, iron sharpens iron. You want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward, and especially if you're coming out of your pocket, it's an investment in your future, an
Mm-hmm.
investment in your vision, and being able to be true to that is probably the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some good words, man. I want to just encourage you to, and Roger as well, and anybody else that's been on this program before. Um, Stay in touch with each other, and I'm happy to introduce you to anybody else I know as you see these things coming along. Again, I think I mean, I have like one of the best jobs in the world because I get to talk to great people and connect people together. And again, that just keep me up to date with everything you guys are doing. If you're doing something new, we'll get you back on. If you've got something last minute and you're like, dude, could you just, I have a lot of Twitter followers, but I don't have time to pay attention to Twitter right now. But I mean, if even just, you need just to do a retweet or whatever you do on Instagram or whatever, just hit me up because, it's just about networks and making connections. And I certainly hope anytime somebody comes on this program that they've, made some new connections that'll help advance what they're doing so the world can find out about it. So I'm looking forward to getting to see what's coming next. And now I got maybe another feature film set I need to, like make you say yes now under pressure because like you couldn't say no to me. Like, can I get on your set, for your feature film? Like you wouldn't do that on
I would
this,
not do
right?
that. I would
Exactly. So I actually get yelled at from that. Not really yelled, but chastised a little. Like you can't do that. You can't ask somebody, in public like that because they're gonna say yes. So. But by the way, I'm going to be on the set of a lot of feature films in the next couple of years.
At the rate you're going, yeah.
Yeah, it's working well. Well, that's fantastic. Amanda and Keith, we are going to get to your film just after this next film here in the middle with Debbie. So this is because we're going to build the intensity here. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot of fun. But trying to make you a little nervous or whatever. No, we're all here. It's all about love. But I want to be able to finish with your film and talk about it. But I really want to be able to show Debbie's film here because it's the first chance I've had that we had a replacement, film at the last minute. So Debbie Richardson is she's a filmmaker. She's in Vegas. She's just a phenomenal person, and she connected me with a young artist. Her name is Lex, and we're gonna have Lex on here pretty soon. She shot a music video. I think this is how I stumbled upon Debbie. Was this music video she made? I think the album is called Life of Lex, LS. She's amazing. Great musician. And so, yeah, this is, Debbie has a really cool, like 80s style. I love her films. So this one should be fun. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Life support warning. 10% power remaining.
生命维持警告，剩余10%动力。
Life support warning. 10% power remaining.
生命维持警告，剩余10%动力。
Life insufficient power to initiate wake sequence.
动力不足，无法启动唤醒程序。
Insufficient power to initiate wake sequence.
动力不足，无法启动唤醒程序。
Insufficient power to initiate wake sequence.
动力不足，无法启动唤醒程序。
Insufficient power to initiate. Warning. 1% power remaining.
生命维持警告，剩余
Emergency. Life support failed. 1% power remaining.
紧急，已脱离
Life support.
Now I remember when we were married, you wanted to be joined together in matrimony.
And as I recall, it was till death do us part.
Yeah, that's right.
Wake sequence initiating.
唤醒程序启动，
Wake sequence initiating.
唤醒程序启动，
Wake sequence initiating.
唤醒程序启动。
I need your loving like the sunshine. 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 And everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime.
Wow.
That was crazy.
Yeah, the cinematography,
Wow.
cinematography on that was insane.
Wow. I have
Yeah.
a million questions.
Production value through the roof.
That was crazy. And the score, I love the score. It was like perfectly appropriate.
Wow, I wasn't even talking. Thank you, Joy. I did that. What I said was, wow, Debbie knows how to make a movie, but you guys were just saying the same thing. Man, holy cow. That is that was just a blast. You know what we'll have to do, Prentice? We'll have to get Debbie back on here at some point, and we should have some past filmmakers and stuff just come in and show some of her films and ask some questions and stuff. She won 4 Emmy Awards for that movie.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
you know, it's been well
Well-deserved.
recognized as a good piece of filmmaking, and I'm just honored that she
No dialogue.
let
At
let
all,
me use
yeah.
that. Zero, right? Other than you hear
The computer voices
and stuff, in the background and the little bit of radio stuff and everything. But you're right, no dialogue at all. And man, this would be like the third week in a row we've had the in the 20s when sound was coming into filmmaking, there were a lot of people in film that were like, this is it. This is the end. The movie era is over. Nobody's going to want to watch a movie with sound and talking. It'll just be a disaster. And it was a disaster for certain actors and stuff because they didn't have very good voices for film. I think Charlie Chaplin being one of them for talkies. But for a minute, it was Rev Mute Live. Yes, that does happen once in a while. But yeah, that's just amazing. And you could feel
said
that
it
kind
all.
of that.
It just, and the thing, the story carried, you were just so immersed into like not just the visual aspects of it, but the why and when of the whole story. Why and when is, and then when it says 77 years later, it was like, okay, wow, that's a that's a long time.
Right. Yeah, well, and okay, is that a robot girl or is that a human girl? And it's 10,000 years in the future. And
She's frozen in
is
time.
that guy a robot or all robot or whatever? And did
so
he hang there for 77 years just to look at her face because he knew he could, and then he'd give her that last bit of energy and that would activate her because time didn't mean anything to him or to anybody out in space like that, I guess, if you're a robot and she's in the deep freeze. So yeah.
Did she wake up because she liked that last song? Like,
I like that.
It reminded me quite a bit of the opening scene in Endgame when Tony Stark is stuck on the I forget. Well, he was stuck on that ship, and he's got the other girl who's like completely bionic.
I know he's talking about,
yeah. He doesn't know if he's ever going to make it back. He's emaciated, like he's doing. So it's just that and that similar thing where like
his chest opening and stuff.
Yeah, he was gonna use that to power the rest of it to get him home or whatever, something like that. But very similar where like at that point, I mean, he was definitely like doing captain's log, but the dialogue doesn't. The disposition starts to tell the story far more than words.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The colors are just
so vibrant.
Yeah, very inviting.
Yeah, if you see her other short that I've named is getting away from me that we actually used when she was on the program, she has that consistency of her look for those kind of films. I mean, she makes other kind of films too, but it is this like space odyssey 80s future thing, and it's just I really like the look even in the logos, the graphics. Like here's something that people don't think about too yet because it's still so new in the minds of people at kind of the level of filmmaking that we're seeing here. And of course Debbie's imagine had quite a bit larger budget than you two did as filmmakers for that film. But this idea of like a colorist, right? For the film,
so
because
important.
And you shot a film on a stock that was going to give you a warm character, or you shot a film on a film stock that was going to give you kind of a blue, cyan kind of character to it, and you could play around a little bit with the development and do some stuff, but now you shoot everything basically raw, make sure it's lighted perfectly, and if it is, you can create any tone, texture, anything you want to that film. So that too, just the consistency of her colorist in what they're doing across these films too is really cool. So that's like the hottest job I think probably in film right now is if you're a good colorist. I mean, you could pretty much charge whatever you want to charge.
Yeah, it reminds me. Tim Burton films usually have a very unique color profile, and when you see them, you're like, "Oh snap!" Like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, even the Nightmares Before Christmas. Like they all have this like eerie color profile that continues to like move his direction. You know what I mean? Like
it's like a signature. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. You find that too in music in certain artists. You know, there's always the undertone of the artist. You just can't get away from it. It's there. So that's really cool. Well, yeah. So I'm actually stoked if I can get to Vegas. I
Yes,
may
Edward
agree to
Scissorhands.
being on her set for her
Oh
feature that
yeah.
she's shooting now. So looking forward to that.
Danny Elfman on the score.
There you go. All right. Well, so this is our actually first music video on here. And I definitely want to do like a music video, special show sometime or whatever. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But as I said early in the broadcast here, that I just could not resist. We were joking around behind the scenes here earlier, and I just couldn't resist saying, if we just had these beautifully cute people here that are really good filmmakers on the screen the whole time, we'd probably have like 10 million viewers by now. So but I was so I really appreciate you guys for putting all the effort you guys did to be here tonight. If all of my and you're good, PL. You were all set up and everything. It's good. You were perfect. I'm not chastising you at all. You're good. But these guys, oh my gosh, they were like on 100, making sure everything was perfect and all set up. And I suggested we do the 2-shot like this. So this is like the first time I've had anybody do a 2-shot, and like they came with fucking gear, like like my gear. Because I was thinking like one of the best looking couples ever on Haps. I think they could be the best looking couple ever on Haps.
Well, thank
Joy.
you.
But like, because I got to thinking, I'm like, shit, like what did I just ask them to do? Because maybe it would just be better if they just sat in different rooms, but just even having the dynamic of you two in the room together. This is something huge, like for me too, because I've got some Chicago people that I'm going to interview, and I'm really thinking about doing it in, taking my gear, which is not going to be fun, into the sunroom and doing them one-on-one in person. You know what I mean? Because it just gives you that nice little vibe. So this is really fun to have the two of you here with us tonight, and we're going to watch your music video. And we did talk a little bit about your relationship to each other and all of that at the beginning here, but if you just happen to jump in on the replay, we have husband and wife team. Are you what would you call yourself, Keith? Like are you a singer, a musician, what I mean? Like, how do you classify yourself musically?
So I would say like primarily artist producer, and then within that everything kind of falls.
Okay, I like it. Very good. So we got the artist producer kind of on the music side, and then his he didn't have a choice for his first choice for his director. No, just kidding. And his wife directing her kind of first music video. And again, I just had so much fun watching what you guys have done, and I'm just so excited that we got to have you on here. And I got to have you on like every week now, because you got the setup back there. You know what I mean? You could be the guest that would be consistently sounding good, because trust me, we had sound problems last week, and it happens. But yes, I appreciate both of you as guests. You got here nice and early, and we got the sound and everything going. So we are going to watch Love Me, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
All right.
You said that I could be anything, accomplish all my dreams like you was on my team. Can't understand why you always be taxing me, make it so hard.
Did I just not see anything there?
Yeah, I didn't see anything either.
Okay, that's weird. Hang on just a second. I might just have to re-download it real quick or something. Let me just see. I watched it here, didn't I? Yeah. Let's see.
figured that was going to happen. Always happens.
Oh, well, something always
13
happens.
seconds.
Great
Very funny.
13 seconds.
Yeah, something always happens on this. It's live. This will be more memorable this way. Yeah, let me re-upload it real quick. Also, is it on YouTube anywhere?
As of now, no. So it actually got accepted into the Hip Hop Film Festival in New York City. And distributors look at the work that comes through there, and they will not even consider your work if it's on YouTube. So
I gotcha.
Yeah. So
Do you have because now I remember, do you have a smaller file version than the one you sent me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to have you send me that because I think that might be the problem.
Okay.
Yeah. The transfer rate probably just.
Okay. Yeah, the festival asked for the size that we gave you.
Yeah. No, sorry. Just, 1080, 720, 1080 is fine. That's my bad. I should have thought that when it was uploading. But like I said, this makes it more memorable this way. We have a little added, wait and attention, while we're waiting for I could, if Keith didn't have to do that, he could maybe do some music for us, put a little excitement in there. But get that to me in the email, and we'll get this thing going.
Great.
Much smaller file
coming right now.
Woohoo!
You need to send it through mine, don't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no. Oh, wait.
Rev, I have a question for you.
You sure you don't? No. Okay.
Did you send it to my RevMac Live account?
Yeah.
My phone's over there. Just go
Can
to
you
my
private
email.
your email in there?
Yeah. Hang on, no worries. Hang on. It doesn't even matter. It's revolution@revmaclive.com.
Okay.
RevMac Live. There we go.
See, folks, this is how the sausage is made. I love when you get to see the behind the scenes. Well, we always show you the behind the scenes stuff on this show because, we need
this
a bigger
is within
crew.
the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here for the drama. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Kitty.
There we go. Here we go. Get this thing downloaded.
And thank you, Joy. She said, "Congrats." Thanks, Joy.
Download. This is like a Google versus Microsoft versus MacBook debate now here on the download. Like, who's going to get to be in charge of it? All right, hang on a second. That's hilarious. Let's download it this way.
So where did you guys shoot this at?
We shot this in Orlando, Florida, at the Wells Built Museum. It used to be a Black-owned hotel, and it's now a museum. So, back in the day, if you visited Florida and you were Black and you didn't have family or friends in the area, that was the hotel that you stayed in. Ray Charles used to stay in that hotel. There was a music school he used to go to when he would go to Florida, and they would stay in that hotel. And Keith actually had a band when we were in Orlando, and they performed at the museum once. And he formed a relationship with the curator of the museum. And when it was time for us to get ready to shoot, we had the vision for the film, and he was like, "Oh man, wouldn't it be great if we could film it at the museum?" And we were able to contact her, and she ended up shutting the museum down for us for the day. And we were able to get the shot done. And we actually were only able to film one day in the museum. But we took Keith through, was it like six or seven different
They should
looks?
just let them watch it.
Okay.
You should not tell them.
Well, you know, you just keep talking a bit
I eat
because
green book. I eat green
is-
book, huh?
Exactly. If you actually look in a green book, you will see that.
Yeah.
And not just for
there.
Orlando or Central Florida, the entire state of Florida. That's the only hotel you can stay in.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
That's amazing.
popping open another browser because this is just too much of a. Apparently, the three major computer powers just like won't let us download this thing. So hang
Oh
on.
no.
No,
So what did you guys shoot
fine.
with?
We shot with a Sony A7 III, 4K, 24 frame rate. And we only used one camera for the entire day. Yeah. Our DOP for the day was he was really about it that day. His name's Ben Altador of Altador Inc. He really came through for us that day. We had a really great team. I was super proud because we took